I've been trying to kill a fly the last couple minutes and I cannot get the sucker. So hopefully he doesn't buzz around and the dog eat him because she's laying over there. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can decorate a small space / apartment. This has been highly requested from you guys. I shared in the last few weeks decorating your home on a budget and also a couple different DIYs that you can do to your house. But a lot of you were asking how we want options for apartment living. We don't want permanent options, and I totally get that. So this is going to be geared toward apartment / small space living. We're going to try to open up the space and make it feel brighter and larger as well and give it some dimension without obviously breaking the bank, but also without doing any permanent solutions to it. So I hope that you guys enjoy this type of video. If you do, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. I absolutely love to inspire and motivate you here. Alrighty, so tip number one is to use curtains but elevate those curtains. If you take a curtain that's usually at a 7-foot level, that's usually where the doorways are in a house or an apartment, is if you bring that up to the ceiling, which most apartments are 8-foot ceilings. If you're lucky you have ginormous ceilings, good for you. And elevate your curtains to all the way up to the ceiling. It's going to make the space feel taller, and that is what we want. It will kind of open up the space as well because it'll visually trick your eye in thinking, oh wow, look how tall her ceilings are. Another option, something I actually did using curtains in our first apartment, was we had popcorn ceilings and I used the little J hooks. They're like a little hook that looks like a question mark, basically, and have a little screw on, and then I screwed those into the ceiling, and they're really small, really cheapy rods, and I put those in there and I hanged white chiffon from it, and I created a canopy around our bed, and I loved it. It transformed the room. That was one thing that our first apartment had, was a larger master bedroom that acted as our office and our bedroom. So I created a nice visual space when you walked in, and you could see the foot of the bed there, which I think is another key thing to do, but it just was so pretty. So be creative. You don't have to just hang curtains from your windows. You can hang them around your bed. You can use string lights and hang those from your bed as well and create a nice little visual space. Remember, this is your home that you are going to be living in for either a short time or a long time. And if it's a long time, make a few permanent, semi-permanent changes to it, and in the end, you have to spend a few dollars to fix it. That's okay. You want your home to feel like it's your space. You're going to be living it. You want to feel comfortable in it. Number two is if you have an open space. Now I'm talking like it's an open floor plan and whatnot, and you're like having trouble figuring out like, how do I make my dining room this way, and my sitting area and my living room and my office. If that all is in one particular area, use rugs to kind of divide up the space. Rugs are a great way to decorate. You can change them up. They're not too expensive. You can find a ton of them for like maybe $50 to $100. You can find them at Walmart, Overstock, Rugs USA. Amazon has a great selection. There's lots of different varieties, but you can use rugs, and I prefer to use lighter rugs in an apartment because the apartment, when they're, most of them don't have a ton of windows. If you have lots of windows, good for you. But they can tend to feel closed in. So if you do lighter options and even something with a pattern, it will kind of open up that space. But rugs can help you define an area. So you can lay them out, and if you are trying to create 3 different areas in one open space, use the rugs to divide the area. Use a rug in one particular area, and then you have the 2 opposite areas as your other individual spaces, but they're broken up by the rug. And you can also use, number 3 is to use other furniture, and use vertical furniture. You don't want per se really wide furniture in a small space because it can make it feel very closed in and bulky and just cluttered. You want to do vertical furniture. So a way to divide that is to use like bookcases. And so you could, if you're entering in, you want to create maybe say like an entryway, add a bookcase to the wall coming out, and it will create that little bit of a divide in the area. But also you can do that for your office or for your living room, whatever the space is, but use vertical things to also, it will create height in the space as well. Now, that leads me to number 4 is, since we are adding a couple different things to the room, we do not want it to look cluttered. Clutter will make the house just look horrible. It's just very distracting, and it makes it feel closed in. So keep your clutter hidden and very minimal. Now you're like, well, how do I have clutter, but hide it in boxes. That bookcase, find nice looking boxes. You can find fabric ones, you can find metal ones, regular paper ones, whatever you have to do, but put it in a nice container. And if you have those stacked up the bookcase with florals and books, it's hidden storage. You have a label on the front, or you could just have no label, but it doesn't look like a mess. It looks like an organized bookshelf without it being like, oh my gosh, look at all of everything that woman has. You know what I'm saying? You can also use under the bed storage to do things. So use underneath your bed to store a lot of your items. So if you like to switch out your decor in your house for like Christmas and fall and different things like that, Dollar Spot actually has right now fabric containers for underneath your bed. It's perfect. Creating pretty storage solutions will really keep the space looking clean and not cluttered at all. I'm looking down at my list because I don't want to get confused. Oh, so speaking about small spaces and making them look bigger, don't buy oversized furniture. That's number 5. If you buy really large furniture, if I put this large IKEA sofa in a room that's half the size, it's going to look ginormous and like out of proportion. So buy the love seat version. Buy the 2 cushion one versus the 3. Downsize it a little bit. And I'm not saying you have to buy like, miniature furniture. Just downsize it a bit. You don't want a huge sectional in an itsy bitsy room, because that's just going to overload the space and your room's going to look really small and it's going to look really cluttered and like, wow, this person lives in a shoebox. You know what I'm saying? So even if you live in a 300 square foot apartment, you can still have options. Divide the spaces. If you guys really want a lot of solutions for finding different rooms and whatnot on a budget, go to IKEA. They have everything set up for different square footage, 200, 400, 800, and they have a ton of different solutions, from organization to the decor and whatnot. Lots of solutions and very affordable. But and if you don't like IKEA, that's totally fine. Just shop smaller furniture wise. And if you need things for entertaining your friends, buy fold-up tables that you can store in your hall closet. But again, it's something that only comes out when you have parties and whatnot, and you have the ability to sit people down, but it's also hidden and compact and be stored away, or you can store it underneath your bed. Turning towards furniture, again, number 6 would be to buy mirrored or clear furniture. If you're in a space that's functioning as a multi-purpose room, if you buy, per se, a clear desk, it allows your eye to kind of pass through it all the way to the other things. So it again will make it feel larger, because it doesn't look like there's actual piece of furniture there, because it's clear. And if you buy mirrored, it will reflect it, and if you reflect that off the light coming from outside, it will again make the room feel a little bit larger. That leads me into number 7, which is using mirrors. I mentioned this in my other decorating videos. Mirrors do wonders. They really do open up a space, and if you can reflect the light in, it just, I don't know, there's just something about mirrors. It just livens up a room and it creates that depth. Like when you look in a mirror, you see it and it almost looks like you're looking through it. So it almost makes it look like if there's per se a wall that just feels closed in. Add a full-length mirror on there and it almost makes it look like an opening, like a hallway, and then it creates that depth for you. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. Sometimes my thoughts don't come out correlated. Lighting can really change the difference in a room. So if you have a darker apartment that doesn't have a lot of windows, add lighting. I know a lot of people would love to do their permanent fixtures, and you can't do that in apartments. Well, I guess you could just take it down and whatnot, but you have to be somewhat electrical. Things I'm not good with electrical. So hire somebody for that. But you can buy taller lamps and put those on the sides of furniture. The lamps can do a lot, but lighting in a room can really make a huge difference. So having it light and bright, minimal, clutter-free, smaller furniture will just open up the space. What are you doing, doggy, over there? My dog's in the room and she's stretching and doing whatever. Are you gonna sleep over there? Okay, sounds good. I think 8 or 9 we're on is to add greenery into your room. Fresh is always wonderful, and it helps detox the air as well. There's a lot of detox plants, but if you don't like real, do fake. But adding a large piece of greenery, per se, like a greenery tree or something like that. Hobby Lobby has them, IKEA has them, really affordable, even Amazon does. Adding that, per se, in a corner near a window or near a light surface will really open up the space as well, or adding that near a mirror, because again, it's adding that reflection in, and it's just kind of making the space feel larger because you do have a plant. You're adding height to the room, adding height, and it's clean, it's minimal, and a lot of greenery can add a really fresh feel to a space and make it feel a little better. I think one of the things I like about my next tip is to use non-traditional wallpaper. We actually have a wallpaper for apartments, and that is using wall decals. I think it's called temper wall, but it's actually removable wallpaper, guys. They have it. They have it at Walmart. They have it on Instagram. There's a couple urban wall decals. They have it. Even Milton & King has some. But you can use removable wallpaper to transform a room, and it's not going to destroy your surface. And if you use something with a lot of texture and pattern to it, it can actually make the room look a little bit larger. I know that sounds a little strange, but it will. So all you have to do is make sure your wall is smooth, and it's just a peel and stick, and you peel and stick it on. It's just like a wall decal, like things that you buy like at Dollar Tree and whatnot, or for your kids' room that you stick on. They just peel right off, and it's a great way to decorate your house. A type that can't quite take that plunge and commit fully to a full set of wallpaper or paint color, use a wall decal, because you can easily change it up and it can add a lot of depth. And they have so many different prints now. There's florals, there's rustic, they even have brick ones. It's just amazing the variety that they have. So if you want something very creative to add a lot of depth and texture to your place, maybe age it up or make it look a little bit more modern, or whatever look you're looking for, wall decals have a lot of options for you. Add curved furniture to your room. And what I mean by that is buy maybe rounded chairs versus square chairs. And if you're having rounded or curvy chairs in your room, maybe put up on the wall square or rectangle pictures. Those all really go really nicely together, so adding different shapes to the room can really draw a lot of interest to it, but also have a nice flow to the room as well. Like if you don't want to put holes in your walls and whatnot, use command hooks, command strips. They make them for 5 to like 50, 100 pounds. There's plenty of different options that you can use for that. And if you want to add a shelf to your house, add it. You just patch the holes and whatnot. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. And if, you know what, they say, well, you know what, we have to charge you for a can of paint to repaint it at the end, then so be it. If it made your home feel more comfortable or not, that's all that matters. So hopefully those tips helped you out a bit. And if you have any solutions for small space and apartment living, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.